mic is still muted in OBS.
Oh, that's real.
You are peaking, my guy. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I had a joke lined up and everything, and I was like, nah, okay, hold on, we gotta fix this.
Oh no, I got real loud.
Oh
I was
my
talking
god.
at a normal.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I was talking at a normal level. Hi.
Holy
Real
shit.
loud, real fast.
Yeah, I went from a 0 to 100. Yeah, I went from a 0 to 100. Oh, God. Everything is... All of my settings are different, to be clear, whenever I run shit. And then I realized how different... It happens every single time I take over anything for Justin. Is that all of his levels are all different, which makes sense. I just never think about it until the moment that we jump in. I'm like, oh, I should be good.
Yep. Nah, man. I was gonna have this whole joke. You came in, and I was just gonna say that's how I found out my goldfish was gay. But like, fuck, dude, I'm gonna have to save that for a different stream.
Yeah, I mean, Justin's never gonna listen to this, so.
Yeah, that's all good. That's all good.
I mean, Justin's right there. Actually, Justin's.
I didn't say fucking don't ignore him.
All right. What up, wrestling fans? It is XP Share episode 46, the one where we take over.
Yeah.
J-Dog is out in vacation in some corner of the world. So I'm running things now, which is clear because I fumbled that whole.
Already fucked.
Yeah,
We're 5 minutes in, it's already fucked it.
But you know, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do except keep moving on? Before we get into the topics, I did want to take a moment to shout out Christopher's for filling in on Friday. If you like some multiverses content, you should go check him out. But other than that, no vamping. We're gonna go into the first topic because I think CJ's gonna need as much time as possible to talk
as
about.
As far as I can see, I'm the only one that wrote anything down for this week. So like, this is my time of year, right? So yeah, look, I don't know if you knew this, chat, because I've hidden it very well over my tenure here on XP Share. I'm a bit of a wrestling fan, you know. I like my WWEs. I like my TNAs. I love my NXT. I am trying to get into AEW because, you know, any wrestling is good wrestling. Fuck tribalism. It's stupid. But it's that time of year. WrestleMania's around the corner. John Cena's a bad guy now. So that's interesting. And the game has come out. The yearly release WWE 2K game has come out with 2K25. It officially came out fully public on Friday. Early access, like basically, well, I say it wasn't early access. Basically, you got to pay for 7 days advanced access if you got the Dead Man's edition or the Bloodline edition. I got the Dead Man's because I got it on PC. So it means I don't get access to the island mode, which is something we'll get into. We will get into the island because I have opinions. And if you've played any of the NBA games, you'll know. You'll know what we're dealing with.
Are you a 2K guy, Juice? NBA 2K?
Not really. I mean, early on I did a little bit, but I grew up playing NBA Live. That was really my thing.
I feel like sports games in general have gotten less and less fun. Since
They're just repetitive.
Yeah, because like I need some silliness in my video games, right? I don't want my players' stats to determine everything. Because I miss like NFL Blitz. I don't know if you ever played NFL Blitz. It was a arcade game, and I played it on the N64.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. But one of the mechanics is that if you made the same consecutive passes, your like blitz meter would go off and it just let you go turbo.
Sounds sick. That sounds sick.
And there's like a fire effect and everything. It's like very 90s.
Hell yeah!
I guess there
back when video
was.
games were fun.
I just
Back
need
when
some
they were
like
designed to be fun.
yeah, sports games are allowed to be arcadey. They're
Yep.
I don't need to relive. I don't need to relive basketball. I would love for my guy to do some moon jump, hop. I need some Looney Tune shit, just like a little bit.
Yeah.
Right, just a little bit.
No, absolutely.
Wrestling
absolutely.
games in the past have had that. I think the WWE games have had a little bit of that, especially with like character creation and all that.
We had it a lot, and then we kind of lost it, and now it's slowly starting to come back. What I will say ahead of time, right, is do I think you should, if you are a wrestling fan, will you enjoy WWE 2K25? Yes, there is a lot to enjoy with this game. Should you get it full price? Absolutely not. You can get it for like $40 on CD keys. I recommend doing that. You can get the Dead. I would recommend getting the Dead Man's Edition on CD keys because it is the price of the standard edition on full release price because it's like $60, £60. What whatever. Convert it yourself. Do the math. I can't count. We know this. If you can get it there, absolutely get it there. Like it's more worth the money. In that instance, it is a lot of fun. I have not played the showcase yet. Because I'm going to be streaming that over the next couple of days before Kat comes over. And then we have got the My Rise, which is basically like the campaign mode, the story, which genuinely, compared to the other story modes I've had over the last few years, is very good. It's very good. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. The creation suite, we'll get into it. But overall, it's still good. There's been some minor improvements. There's been a couple changes that I don't agree with. But it's still serviceable. The new match types they've added, the Bloodline rules and the Underground are fun. They are very fun. The game in general feels a lot nicer. You can either play it as a super serious simulator wrestling game, or if you want, you can fuck with the settings and make it arcadey as shit. Like, the stats do matter, but you can go in and basically make it however you want. So, genuinely, as a wrestling game, like, it is a 7 out of 10. Which for me that's a really good rating. I think it's a bit of a price for what it is, but you're going to get that with 2K. So, it's, it's an upgrade. It's an upgrade from the last game. So, that take that with what you will.
WWE 2K best fighting game of 2025.
Well, let's not go that far. All right, because we're not even done with Q1 yet.
So far,
and
maybe
there are still some glaring issues. Well, what other fighting games have come out so far?
I don't think any.
Exactly.
I'm the person to ask. I was looking.
So by default, yeah, I guess. Yeah, sure. It's the only one.
CJ not falling for my traps is.
Yeah, nah. Yeah,
be toxic.
Does
it's interesting.
Do the new 2K games have like how much is unlockable? Because I'm on the store page. I was just kind of looking at the prices, and I see some monetization options here. Some in-game currency.
Well, buddy, this is the thing. You see, 2K25 has two versions. There is the next gen version, but they're calling it next gen. I will make that very clear. I'm aware it's current gen. They're calling it next gen. That's their marketing, not mine. Blame Paul Heyman. Don't blame Paul Heyman. He's lovely. So there is the next gen version, which is the Xbox Series S version and the PlayStation 5 version. Then there is what they're calling the old gen version, which is the PS4 version, the Xbox One version, and PC for some fucking reason. Which again, I have a theory too, but that's whatever. But effectively, if you get the PC version, the PS4 version, or the Xbox One version, which I did, I got it on PC because that's how we do VWA. If you don't know, I'm part of an online federation for wrestling called Vinewood Wrestling Alliance, run by my friend Yaz. It's basically a wrestling show that we put together that's coming back soon. We're gonna have an episode going up in April, which is a lot of fun. All based in the GTA elusive universe that was sort of created in the GTA roleplay community. So we have some of our characters coming back and being wrestlers. I have a self-insert called CJ Winters. I've also got an Undertaker Bray Wyatt style character called Mask. A lot of fun. Riley's daughter is in there. Little Easter egg for those who know about that plot line.
Very nice, very nice.
And I made her in the new game, and she's very buff now. She's had character development. But yeah, so we've been doing that. So I got the PC version, which means I don't get access to the island. What is the island? If you played the NBA games recently, it's basically NBA The City. But it's basically a mode where you can impress Roman Reigns and compete in online story modes and basically do online matches with people and earn points, currency, where you can then purchase items in the shops. There is a shop that is literally just the WWE shop, Fanatics, where they have like a load of stuff that's on the actual store page, like merchandise you can buy. There is one based around Seth Rollins. There's tattoos to do with Rhea Ripley. There's like a load of different stuff, right? That's kind of cool. It also means that if you unlock these items in the island, you can then get access to them in the rest of the game. You can get access to these things, and use them on your creator superstars and use them in your universe mode or in your exhibition matches, whatever. On paper, that's quite cool. Here's the issue: is you're paying real money for a fake Jey Uso t-shirt. You're paying real money for a fake Seth Rollins jacket. You're paying real money for fake Nike shoes. You're paying real money for and I again take this with a grain of salt. This might have been changed because obviously the full, but from what I understand, there is stuff that was in base game last year that you now need to purchase. And you get again, but from what I see, you get like 100 coins per match that you compete in on the island. There are certain things that are 36,000 coins. It's like, oh, that's not bad then, right? That's okay. You just grind a little bit. You also use that same currency to level up your character. So if you want to do better in the matches, so you can grind, you've got to spend the things you've been grinding to make the grind easier so you can buy the stuff you actually want. But wait, there's more! Because you can also use that currency in their trading card mode called My Faction to open packs. If you played FIFA's My Team or fucking Pro Team or whatever the
Dude,
fuck.
I love dopamine.
Yeah. You can buy packs to unlock things to make your life, to compete online, because that's basically their ranked mode is My Faction. And the more money you put in, you can get different cards. And some of those cards are persona cards. What's a persona card? It's basically a different attire for a wrestler that you can use in the rest of the game. There's one that I'm grinding for right now that I don't need to pay money for, but it is a hell of a grind, which is CM Punk 2010. So I get the old CM Punk theme song, which is the best theme song. This Fire Burns is fucking incredible. But that is a lot of things that you've got to spend money on. a lot of things you gotta spend money on. There's also these things called paybacks, which are basically these abilities that you can use. You build up your momentum bar and you can use one of two abilities. You gotta get them through the island. Now, I don't know if they're purchased or unlocked or like this is the thing. I don't have access to the island, so I don't know what isn't purchased, what isn't just unlocked naturally. But knowing 2K and knowing how they are and knowing how Take-Two are, I make the assumption if it's there, you buy it. And
Can I say something really quick?
Yeah.
yep, go for it. Go for it.
Would you mention about like spending money to buy shoes in game and of course them not being real shoes? People have been doing that in like the NBA 2K and whatnot for a long time. So yeah, I think I assume that they just think it's going to transfer from the basketball world over to wrestling. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But yeah, no, it's yeah, that is a thing without question.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like the thing I'll give the island is, some people have been saying that there is fun to be had on the island, right? There is stuff to do on the island. It's a way you can do online with your Creator Superstar, because if you want to do normal online with Creator Superstar, the game will crash 9 times out of 10. The servers suck with this game. But here's where it gets interesting, right?
Yeah.
If you're on PC or PS4 or Xbox One, but I'm going to use PC as my example, you cannot use the same creation suite as PS5 and Xbox One. So basically what that means, if I create a superstar on PC and I put it into upload, which I've done, I've got a load of stuff in the creation suite right now. If you're on PS5, you can't download it. They are on different creation servers. So the creation community has effectively been cut in half, which is not good.
Yeah.
Because that is in my opinion, and 2K will probably disagree with me, but as someone who's in the community and has conversations with a lot of people in the community from all walks of the community in the WWE games, because I've been a part of this community for 10 years now. I've been playing since like WWE 12, which was a very good game. And my favorite WWE game is WWE 2K14, which is a game that came out a decade ago, if you can count backwards from 25 to 14.
That's a little over a decade, but
Fuck off, I can't count. But, so I've been trying, because back in that game, you got to create your own finishing moves.
Yeah.
You got to create your own stories. You got to, there was a super, like, roided up Undertaker mini boss that you could do to try and beat the streak. It was sick. But it means that the community has basically been cut in half. And obviously a lot of people have bought the next gen quote unquote version because they want access to the island and all that stuff, which is, whatever. But here's the funny thing. A lot of the stuff, not all of it, but all of the base game stuff that you need to buy in the island, on the PC version, we just have it. All those special abilities that you need to unlock or buy, I could just use them. I've got them for free. So, I don't know what 2K are doing with this game. Like,
Yeah.
Like I said, the game as a whole, like I can say this straight up, right? It's been a week. I'm already having more fun with 2K25 than I did in like the first 6 months of 2K24.
That's good.
The matches are really fun. You can now do intergender matches, which adds that arcadey feel to it. So if you want to be Rhea Ripley and you want to beat the shit out of Roman Reigns, you can do that. If you want to be this is the thing I think you'll like, Juice. If you want to be Trish Stratus and you want to have a match with The Rock, you can do that. You could just do it.
I thought you could always do that.
They had
a limitation at some point.
So you could do mixed tag matches, which was a man and a woman as a tag team versus a man and a woman as a tag team. The way it worked though was when the man tags the women on the other team, the women automatically stepped in. You could not have intergender fights. You could not have man on woman fighting each other. There would be, but now you can do that, and you can set intergender titles. So if you want, you can get Lita, and you can make her WWE champion. You can get China
Nice.
and make her world heavyweight champion. It's really fun. The
That's
Bloodline
cool.
Rules mode is chaotic, arcadey fun because you could just have like 3 allies run in and everyone's beating the fuck out of each other. The best feature they have added is new camera settings. So basically, first of all, when you're making your entrance, you know, how it would normally be is it's the static animated camera, and you know, you pick the animations that you want for your entrance, but you just, you know, it's the same every time. Now there's you control the camera. It's not completely free mode, but it's a full third person camera. You can rotate, you can zoom it in and out, you can get different camera angles, you can shoot your own entrance, and it's really
That's pretty
fun.
cool.
And it's amazing. Like, I've been able to do so much cool stuff. You can have Randy Orton coming in, and you get all those really nice angles. The lighting is really good as well, so it makes everything just really fun and interesting. And also, when you're playing, you can also use that third person camera. It's no longer locked to the hard cam or the ramp cam like it was in previous games. You can now, and you know,
Mm.
uh, it's not a perfect example, but as if you're playing GTA, that kind of over the shoulder
Yeah,
thing, you can now play with that, and you have full rotation control over the camera. So you
that is
can
cool.
properly see what you're doing, especially when you're in something like Hell in a Cell with 6 other people, and it gets very difficult to see what's going on. So you're always just focused on you. The amount of cinematic stuff people have been able to do with this camera is insane, and I'm so excited to start using it when I start making content on 2K25 in a couple of months. Um, the underground matches are very, very fun. They're really cool. If you toss somebody into the ring post, because underground matches, people aren't going to be fully aware because I doubt a lot of people here watch NXT. But basically, there's no ring ropes, there's no pinfalls. There's a load of people that surround the ring and like slap it and stuff. And it's all like very sort of um light, you know, blackout kind of lighting and stuff. And the only way you can win is making your opponent tap out or knocking them out. And
Hmm.
it's brutal, it's meaty. You toss someone into the ring post, it's the most disgusting sound I've ever heard. Like, it makes me cringe how gnarly it sounds. It's really, really, really fun.
That is cool.
They've made a lot of improvements to the AI, so like simulation is a lot better, which I like to do a lot. I like to simulate matches and spectate them and commentate over them. Been watching my streams over the last couple of months, you know, I've been doing that a lot. The bruising and the blood is so much better. Women can now bleed, which is something we've never had before, and it's such a little thing, but it's so cool to finally see it. And the bruising is legit. If you're in a Hell in a Cell match or an elimination chamber, your back, your chest, your face, it's gonna be
Oh,
bruised to shit. You know, before you'd have
that is
like,
cool.
oh, I'm bleeding, and now the same blood, and you know, I'm gonna have a red spot on my head. Now it's full, like, generated bruising based on the hits you. If you take chops, you know, if you're getting those big slaps across the chest, you're gonna have it's gonna look like you've been whipped. It's gonna have lashes across your chest, across your back. It's really, really cool simulation stuff. Um,
Um,
yeah,
is it like something? Oh, I think I'd have to see it. That sounds really cool. That sounds really freaking cool, though.
no,
Definitely a step up from the good old SmackDown days.
yeah.
That's for sure.
Yep. There's the weapon physics are still good. We still don't have what we had in like the SmackDown versus Raw days where like if you do a move onto a steel chair or the steps, like they act accordingly. We still don't
Yeah,
have that. I'm hoping that that is going to be something that we can work on in the next few years. But honestly, I'm currently, especially with the way the monetization is going, I'm looking at 2K25 being like this. I might genuinely be able to skip out on next year, just keep playing this until I can trust the game is how I like it. Um, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. The My GM mode is now even more in depth. So if you like your, you know, organizing a show with a budget and competing against other shows. It's great. There's online with it now, so you can play online with your friends, which I started a game with Yaz and he screwed me immediately and I had to rebook my entire show because he made sure that both of my tag teams just weren't available. So there went my plans for the week.
Love that.
But GM mode is something I never really got into, but I'm looking at it. It's really good. It looks really good. Universe mode is definitely still the mode that got the least amount of love. There have been improvements to it. You can now do multiple shows on the same day. You can do 2-night events. You can do tournaments and all that. The rivalry system has been improved, but ultimately, it is still it's still very buggy. It's still definitely got the least amount of love, but they are working on it, so I have hope. And they have announced a DLC, which is interesting. I have opinions on it because a couple of them look really good. The first one coming out looks really good. It's gonna have the Motor City Machine Guns. It's gonna have Julia and Stephanie Vaquer from NXT. Penta's coming in. If you don't know
Nice.
who Penta is the greatest lucha of all time, and that's coming from a Rey Mysterio fan. Penta is amazing. Julia and Stephanie Vaquer are amazing. Some of the best women's wrestlers I've ever seen. And Motor City Machine Guns are Motor City Machine Guns. Like, they're the best tag team in indie wrestling.
Wait, can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
Is Penta the greatest lucha of all time based on what he's already done, or just based on like where his trajectory is taking him?
Both. People are saying that Rey Mysterio is the best lucha of all time and Penta is the best lucha in the modern day.
Yeah.
I personally, with his aesthetic, with where I can see him going in the next few years, but also with what he's already done in AEW, what he's done in Lucha Underground, what he did in the Royal Rumble, the way he's been performing in ring since he came in January, in my opinion, he's the greatest lucha of all time.
That's cool.
I
All right.
love him so much. He is so good, and that's a lot of talent these days in the WWE and across TNA and AEW. You've got people like Nick Nemeth, you've got Joe Hendry, you've got Will Ospreay, you've got Swerve Strickland, you've got some very underrated people in my opinion, with the likes of like Carmelo Hayes, Zelina Vega. Lyra Valkyria has been doing really well. Like, I'm loving wrestling right now. It's genuinely one of the greatest times alive. And one of the greatest times to be a wrestling fan. And like I said, John Cena's heel. He's gonna be on Raw tomorrow in Belgium. Like, we might be getting the John Cena heel music that they teased years ago that they never ended up using. You bet your ass I'm gonna be tuning into Monday Night Raw tomorrow.
Yeah.
Plus, it's also gonna be on at a normal time. It's gonna be on at like 8 p.m. my time and not 1 in the morning. I get to watch it at a regular time and then go to bed before 3 a.m. It's great.
That sounds awful, actually.
But yeah, so the game overall, like, it has some very glaring problems. Don't get me wrong. Like, the game, it's a 2K game. There's always going to be issues. Do I trust them to monetize their game in a way that I think is fair? I'm going to wait and see, because everybody here knows that I am very much a person of, I want to see what it does before I judge it. I will not judge a restaurant before eating the food, but also this chef has a reputation, and I don't know how I feel about it. All right, this is a new restaurant and it might be 5-star, but every 3-star restaurant I've ever eaten at, this guy's been cooking there, so I don't know. But
that's a fair point.
Yeah, so but I'm hopeful, and this time last year with 2K24, if you'd have asked me was I hopeful for the game, no, not really. The stuff they added last year was cool. Don't get me wrong. I love an ambulance match. I love a casket match. I die for special guest referee. But it was also like, a month down the line, it was like, oh, I can see what direction this game is going, and I don't like it. But this game, genuinely, depending on, check in with me in a month or two. But currently, right now, I like the direction it's going. The one thing I'm not too sure about is we have a DLC pack coming out in a few months, which is 2 wrestlers and 3 NBA stars.
This game came out 3 days. This game came out 3 days ago.
Yeah, but I've been playing it for a week before. Don't forget.
No, I'm just saying DLC's already coming out.
Well, no, it's been announced. The DLC has been announced. It's not coming out. The way these games go is there's 5 DLC packs over the course of the year, and a new edition will come out, like a special edition will come out. Like we had the Bray Wyatt edition last year. The special editions, in my opinion, aren't typically worth buying, but if it means you can get the game for cheaper than you would normally, then fair enough. But yeah, we do have a DLC pack that's going to be coming out in a few months' time, which has 3 NBA stars in it. Now, I get that there's going to be some people who really like the idea of that, because, a lot of WWE stars are also, especially like the US wrestling fans, are also going to be NBA fans, sports fans in general. So for them, yeah, it's going to be cool. But if I can be completely honest, I would rather have my wrestling game DLC have wrestlers in it, not basketball players.
Okay, well, to that point,
you don't want to see LeBron top rope.
Not really.
You got to remember, man. I mean, obviously, it's because the WWE is now more than ever branching into different verticals. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, if you're gonna have basketball fans who are still somewhat new to wrestling, but notice that their favorite wrestler just is now in the WWE game, it might cause them to want to buy it.
And I get that. I think what it is for me is last year we had a DLC pack, which was Pat McAfee and Friends. Mm-hmm. And I've got no issue because Pat McAfee is a part of WWE. Like having him in the game is great. I get to beat his ass because personally I don't like him. He's a bit much for me. He's very American, and that's fair. Coming from the foreigner, but but having him in the game, that's fine. What I don't care for in the game is the entire DLC pack was him and his 4 podcast buddies, who I'd never heard of. Did not give a shit about.
That goes hard. DJ, if you make it into W2K, I better also.
No.
Also better be there.
Bro, if you want to be in it that badly, I'll make you a core. I'll make you a creator wrestler and do it that way. But I get it. I get it, right? The NBA thing, don't get me wrong. I understand why they've done it from a business point of view. I understand why they've done it. I think for me, it's just a case of there are so many people, especially in NXT, who deserve to be on that roster in the game that will not be, because we could have had we could have had the Hardys come back as DLC because there's a partnership with TNA. They've been on WWE TV and NXT. Half of their stuff is already in the game, just as moves and motions and stuff. So we could have had the Hardys coming in as DLC. We could have had a couple of legends come in as DLC. We could have had some of the other NXT roster, like a new faction in NXT came in on around mid-February.
I mean, to Juice's point, right? I mean, you said that there's 5 rounds, right?
5 DLC packs, yeah.
Is it so? If the first one is gonna have NBA stars, it kind of makes sense. Or if we are going to try to branch out and expand the fandom, right? It kind of makes sense to target the people who are on the fence first, right? That's
it's not the first one that's coming out. I think it's the third one. Is the thing. So
yeah, I mean, you never know. Maybe there will be a round for NXT people. Maybe that'll be a hyping that they do to say, "Oh, guess who's back now?" And all you just hear is that freaking Hardy Boys and interest music, popping up.
Let me have a look and see who's on the list for DLC.
You know what might be cool though? Now that we're a wrestling podcast, is that is that the rumors of these NBA stars being in the 2K games uh starting to show up to Monday Night Raw, start being part of the promoting team, maybe getting thrown into a table or a chair, getting smacked back of the head with this chair, like actually like leading up to the release of the DLC. Like actually integrate these people in more and more.
And maybe that's going to be the case. Like again, I'm not going to judge it before it comes out. I think for me it is just like, and to be fair, a lot of the DLC looks really good. So the list we've got, the DLC for May is going to be Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, who are Motor City Machine Guns, Julia, Stephanie Vaquer, and a celebrity guest that is yet to be announced. My guess is
Travis
it's going to
Scott.
be it's going to be Travis Scott because he was at Elimination Chamber, and like he's part of that faction, right? Like that's just John Cena, The Rock, and Travis Scott. Like they are a trio. The Duncan Destruction pack, so it's going to be the second DLC pack coming out in June, is Abyss, who is from TNA. So that's fucking cool, right? I'm cool for that. The Great Khali, personally don't care for it, but that's a guy coming back, and 3 NBA stars to be announced. The third DLC is going to be Bull Nakano, who it was inducted into the Hall of Fame last year, Jordan Grace, who's just joined NXT, New Jack, who's another sort of legend, Penta, and a special celebrity guest to be announced. DLC 4, this is the one this is fucking a great DLC pack. Billy Gunn and Road Dogg.
Ooh.
So we got the New Age Outlaws back.
Okay, really quick.
Yep, go for it.
So on Friday when we did our multiverses tournament, the second that we came in, I was doing the intro because usually Quang does it.
Yeah.
The second that the cameras went live, I literally went, "Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages." I literally did the introduction, except I didn't obviously say the New Age Outlaws. But yeah, no, that's hype. That's hype right there, man.
Yeah,
like
that's really good. We've also got Victoria, which is Victoria. I like as women representation, because she is someone from the Attitude Era who, very much was, "Oh, look at me, I'm hot," but also I can fucking go if you let me go, right? We've got D'Lo Brown, which is
D'Lo Brown.
D'Lo Brown.
Nice.
And then number 5, Mark Henry.
Sexual chocolate.
Yep.
Sexual
and then
chocolate himself.
DLC 5 is like very much like the Legends pack, which obviously personally I don't have a connection to, but for those people it's going to be great. You're going to have Jesse Ventura, Junkyard Dog, Mr. Wonderful, Paul Ondorf, Tito Santana, and Sid Justice. Psycho Sid, the one who shit himself at WrestleMania against The Undertaker. So, like, don't get me wrong. Overall, like, the DLC pack's cool. No, like, they're not bad. My thing is, like, I think it's the fact that it's 3 NBA stars. If it was 2, genuinely, I think if it was 2, I'd be okay with it. And you subbed in, like, one of those stars for someone like Zarya or someone, Dion Lennox would be another one. Or, one of the Hardy Boys. Or even Joe Hendry. Because again, we got that partnership. We can get Joe Hendry in the game now if we want to. But it's like, I think it's the fact that it's 3 and it's the majority of the pack is people who aren't wrestlers. One of them is the Great Khali, who I don't personally care for, and the other one is a TNA star that I do care for. So it's like, I'm buying a whole DLC pack for one character. I say I'm buying it. I have the Deadman's edition, so I'm getting it anyway, because that's a benefit of the edition I got. Because I like having access to the new stuff that comes in with the DLC. So yeah, don't get me wrong, it's gonna be great. This game does look like a great fucking game. It's just a personal thing I have. because
What a filthy Brit, am I right? I mean, this guy here, man.
Oh, I'm so sorry that
What a filthy Brit.
I want wrestling in my wrestling game. I'm so sorry.
Sorry we couldn't put Didier Drogba in there, bro. I mean, maybe next year we'll do it, you know. Hey, if somebody hit up Mbappe, he might be down, you know.
Nah, you know what? You know what, Juice? I'm getting fucking Bailey added to deadlock. Fuck you. Bailey gets added to deadlock.
Hey, listen, give her a cool kid. You know what I'm saying? I might play her.
hey. All right. I did want to say, without trying to interrupt CJ's mojo too much here, you also wanted to talk about something, Juice. And you just like never put it on. You're like, hey,
yes. I saw it in the moment and like messaged J-Dog, and then I completely just absolutely wiped my memory of it.
That's so funny because literally in our we'll look behind the scenes. Juice straight up, hey, can you make up that doc? I want to write something in there before I forget.
And then he forgot.
And then I forget. No, this happened. This just 100% happened. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, there in that moment there were about 2 or 3 things that I saw, in like gaming news, and I was like, oh snap, that's awesome. And then I, I do this a lot. You know, when I was younger, you know, living with my parents, there would be days where my mom or my dad would call me and say, hey, I need you to do something. I say, yeah, cool, no problem. I'd walk out of the room. About 10 seconds later, go back in the room and go, what did you ask me to do again? And they would look at me like, what? You're 13. Like, your memory's already that bad? Like, yeah, it kind of is. So, you know, this is, you know, I'm 34 now. Just kind of put that into perspective. Yeah. Now, that said, I've been going through my brain trying to think about what it is. Once I recall, I'll be sure to make sure everyone is on notice.
I was kind of curious if either of you have heard about the League of Legends monetization drama that's been it's resolved now, kind of, over the last couple of months, like since January.
I'm not aware, but that's a really nice segue, so fuck it.
Because I mean, it's been kind of a discussion happening all the time, right? League of Legends, well, the monetization models for free-to-play games in general. League of Legends put out like a dev report saying, hey, we're not making as much money as we want to. This is also after a huge number of layoffs. So they were going to remove the gacha system inside League of Legends. Basically, as a reward of playing a lot, you could unlock or you could get chests that had skins in them. The primary way you make League of Legends makes money is you buy skins. As most free-to-play games are. So part of the problem was recently before that they took originally the way that you're supposed to get it is like, oh, play a bunch of different champions, play a bunch of different characters. You got, if you did really well with that character, you would get a chest. Or if while playing with a friend, your friend does really well, you also basically just go play with friends.
Okay.
And you might be able to get free skins and stuff like that. And the library is anything in the game. So there was a chance that maybe you got that like $80 skin from the thing. But most of the time it's the real cheap ones and you're okay with that. And it was a good system. They changed it to where like there's just like level progressions with each character where you just had to actually put in hundreds and hundreds of hours. And people were like, this kind of sucks. We want the old system back. And then they're like, hey, we're losing money because people aren't buying skins, and instead they're relying on these loot boxes. And everyone's like, you know that it's like a 100,000 to 1 chance to get the skin that you want, and it's like a 1 in 10,000 chance to get the skin for the characters that you play.
Wow.
You're not losing money on this. And then the Riot doubled down. They're like, we are not changing the new system. The new system is getting rid of all of that. There are a couple of free skins that you can get if you buy the battle pass.
Yeah, free skins if you buy them. That's not.
And at the end of the battle pass, there's a super swanky new skin, and then they revealed it, and it sucked. The swanky new skin in the battle pass that they're talking about all the changes for was garbage.
Damn.
And everyone's like, well, we're not gonna pay for this either, so it doesn't make sense.
Of course.
And then a lot of back and forth between the community and Riot themselves ended up with Riot actually coming back with a better than before system, which rarely happens.
Oh.
Where there are things on the battle passes that are free just to encourage you to play, even if you're not going to put money into it. And they added a bunch of those loot boxes into the battle pass system for free. Any of the skin boxes are free in the battle pass system, which is kind of a rare move. I don't know if you are aware of this. I'm sure CJ is, because I'm pretty sure CJ has complained to me about this specifically. But a marketing strategy that game companies use is, okay, they know that the system that they have now is really great for the players. It's great for free-to-play users, people who don't want to put money into it. But because it's so good for them, they need to change it because they're not making enough money or whatever. So what they'll do is they're like, okay, we know where we want to be. We're going to make a huge announcement saying that we're going to change it to something that's so much worse.
Yep.
And then, a month later, be like, sorry guys, we listened to the community feedback. While we can't return to the original system, here's a couple of things we're going to do to make it easier. And then
yeah, no, it's a really smart strategy, but it's very scummy. Like,
yeah,
it's that whole thing of right. For example, right, I need to tell Quang some not great news, right? So I give him some really, 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 really shitty news first, all right? And then 3 days later, I can go to him. It's like, right, I fixed that. That fucking leak in the boat that meant we were dying. Yeah, I fixed that. We just don't have a sail. But like compared to that, it's not as bad, right? Like we're going up in the world. When really, I just put a hole in the fucking boat to cover up the fact that we don't have a sail.
uh,
Cool stuff, right?
Yeah, no, it's also a thing that people do, like when they release a new hero in a video game, right? Marvel Rivals, Overwatch, League of Legends, they're all Deadlock probably as well. Like people always say, and you always fucking hear it. I have the same comment every time. Oh, they dropped this new hero and they're really fucking overpowered and shit. Oh no,
Yeah, yeah.
You know why it's overpowered? You know why Malga is fucking broken? So you buy the battle pass, you can then play him, and then 2 months from now they'll make him how they actually intend him to be. You make something, and it's just the way the market is. You make something incredibly powerful or incredibly broken, or in this case, incredibly harsh to the consumer, so that you can go to what you actually want later because you've already got the publicity, right?
Yeah.
For a game, they've already bought the character, so now you can do whatever the fuck you want with it. Like you can balance it properly because now the people who have bought it are still going to play the character because they need to, sunk cost fallacy. And the people who are complaining about it being broken, it's now balanced, so they're no longer complaining anymore. They might even buy the character now that it's balanced because, And for the League of Legends thing, it's like, yeah, this is where we want it to be. It doesn't matter how we got there, right?
Yeah, but the interesting thing, like I said, it did seem like they weren't prepared for the backlash. And instead of settling somewhere in the middle, like I said before, they actually came out with something better. I think instead of getting, the system before was predatory, I should say. The original system, there's no way that was. I know there's like hundreds of skins. I could easily get 20 skins a year for free. just from playing. And that's from somebody who does not care about skins at all.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm too much of a sweater. I don't need my characters to look pretty.
See, I was that guy like in Overwatch where after a time, like everyone was going, "Oh fuck you, get the skin, get the skin." So I just swapped all my hero skins to default out of spite. Out of spite,
Bite.
I went default, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm a lore player. These are how these characters are in the lore, so this is how I'm gonna fucking play them." Oh.
Ah man, I don't know, man. The Nerf Bastion is just too fire to say no to. You know, that especially when he goes into the turret mode and it just sounds like a bunch of Nerf darts being shot at you. Like that's just the coolest thing.
You see, I never got that one. See, I never had
I
that.
never did either.
had
I
the Logan
get pissed
Bastion.
off.
I had
Yeah, I get pissed off when I
Bastion.
see people with it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. You the Lego one? Yeah.
that's that is like pay to win almost, like rage inducing.
Oh yeah.
Have either
Because
of you guys?
I think it was an Overwatch 1 thing, and I never played Overwatch
Yeah.
1, so yeah,
Have,
I
have
missed out on that opportunity.
Have you guys been playing Overwatch 2 at all since Marvels came out? Because I know there's a bunch of like updates and gameplay stuff that seems to be heading in the right direction, especially towards the end of last year or beginning of this year.
So I played it for a little bit when they introduced the perks
Yeah, a little bit.
for quick play. I've not played it a lot because I've just had so many games to play.
Yeah.
Recently, well, I've been playing a shit ton of Void Crew. I've been playing a new WWE game. Josie just got me Slackers, which is a really like fun little time trial game. But you're in a trolley, so it steers like shit. Sorry, shopping cart. Like so it steers like shit, but yeah, it's wacky fun, right? And then there's a load of games coming out this year, obviously. So, but I've been playing a little bit of Overwatch 2. Because I mean, there's just so many fucking games that come out every fucking day. It's
Yeah.
insane. But I played a little bit of it to test out the perk system. It's going in the right direction. I'm genuinely really excited for their arena mode.
Yep.
Because that feels like Deadlock's like system of abilities, which I like, but in a game mode that I actually understand how to play and isn't gonna take me ages to fucking figure out.
Yeah.
It's the stuff I like about Deadlock, but in a game that I already know how to play and I'm a lot better at.
Yeah.
What have you been playing, Jace?
I have reached 1,100 hours in Deadlock since August, so I'll let you figure. I'll let you decide what you think I've been playing.
Solitaire.
It's bad. Yeah. A lot of Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
Stardew Valley. Been on top of my list. Yeah, absolutely, man. All of that. It's bad, man. I am absolutely freaking hooked to Deadlock. It's not. Now, when it comes to Overwatch 2, I definitely want to play the new mode because again, the thing about Paladins that I felt was always made it better than Overwatch is the perk tree. You know, it is the ability to have, well, in Paladins is really more of like a deck system. And in game you could enhance certain perks, but I always feel like that was just like the difference maker that just made it a more, I guess, satisfying game to play, I guess you could say. So with them adding it to Overwatch, I think it's definitely gonna, obviously not only is it great for the content creators, but it's great for my nerd brain because now I can try to think of devious ways to outsmart my opponent rather than just pressing the same old buttons over and over and over
Every
again.
game is going to be different, which is fun.
Yeah.
Not only are you dealing with different compositions, there's like 12 different ways to play the character now. So that's going to be interesting. And
That's
I
what I love
hope they
about
go
it.
wacky with it. I hope they don't go too safe. I hope they're like, because I've seen a couple of them. I've seen Reinhardt gets an ability where he can just fly. I want more of that. I want Roadhog to be able to use his hook as a swing like Spider-Man. I want to see Orisa be able to charge like an actual centaur. Like I want to see the wacky shit. I think if we go down that wacky route, then we're gonna be in a Overwatch genuinely, right? And this comes from someone who's not an Overwatch guy. I think you're back. I think you're so back. Like this could be it. I do want to point out though, I'm really upset now because I recently hit 1,800 hours on Sea of Thieves, and I was feeling like, oh god, I've got a lot of hours in this game. You put me to shame because I did that over 6 years. You did it in 6 months. You all right? You have
Yeah,
that.
someone is capital A addicted.
Yeah. And this man's got a full fucking career as well. Like, fucking,
yeah, he's got
where
a
the
9 to
fuck are you
5.
finding it? Where are you
It's during
finding
the 95. It's
1,100
during the
hours?
95.
I couldn't tell you, man.
It's in between
I
emails.
genuinely couldn't tell you. Yeah, it's got to be. That's really the only thing that makes sense at this point. It's the only thing that makes sense at this point. Yeah.
So if you guys didn't know, I've actually haven't really been playing fighting games over the last month or so after Genesis.
Right.
Yeah, I just needed I try-harded for that, and I needed a break from it. So I've gone back to my bread and butter of strategy games, you know, deck builder roguelikes, the such.
Of course.
And I heard CJ scream about it because I wanted to keep at least some consistency. I know quality is a little bit worse because J-Dog does such a good job every single time. Justin has this all set up the way that he wants it. But I want to keep some sense of like regularity, and I also wanted to prove, since we've done this segment the last couple of times, they've both been from Marvel Rivals, but Game Sense isn't a single game thing that you need. It isn't a single genre, right, of games. So I present this clip of me playing Balatro, and where I really needed
Balatro Game Sense.
And I really needed to buy some Game Sense for this. Let me give you.
Quagged, I'm making sure this makes it onto the fucking YouTube channel by by fucking Wednesday.
Yeah, because
I'm gonna edit this tomorrow. All right.
I'm gonna do it with the audio real quick here. We're gonna watch the moment one time. God. Here as let's see if as I set this up, and I genuinely am so shocked that this happened to me.
When you swap to the scene, it will play.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. Oh god, what we got? All right, we got vampire. We got DNA. All right, we're DNA in the. Okay. Right. All right.
I can't
all right.
read.
Okay.
Wait, so what's happening?
Yeah, exactly. So let's start from the beginning of the clip real quick.
So right, I'll take this one, Juice. I got this. I got this. Okay, so let's look at this Joker setup. Right, we got DNA. That's pretty good. We got pair. So basically, what we have here is that dime? Is that greedy Joker? I think it's greedy. It's diamond, right?
The one on the far right.
Yeah, the poly.
I have no idea. It did not matter.
It looks like diamond. So basically, Juice. The important thing here is DNA on the left of that 5 cards at the top. The first hand you play, if it is a single card, it will duplicate that card. So basically, for your first hand, you play a powerful card that you've got, and you can duplicate it. But then if we go forward a few seconds, you'll see he's going into a boss. Now, for people who can't necessarily read, it's called the Needle, and every boss has a specific rule. You can only play one hand for the entirety of the boss.
That is the rule of the needle, yes. Whoop. Hold on. My OBS. My OBS is doing some stuff. Possibly. Why does this do this? Sorry, I don't, yeah, it's really just not picking up.
It's gonna make the video crazy.
Oh.
Oh.
The last thing you heard was needle, just you. It was just you. Yeah, so, if, just a quick recap.
So the needle means you can only play one hand for the entirety of the boss. The way it balances itself out is the score you need to beat is a lot lower. You have blue number, which is chips, which is scored by numbers, and then red is your multiplier. So whatever chips you have, it will then multiply. That is based on the hand you play, which is a poker hand. It could be a full house, it can be a straight, it can be a flush, whatever.
Yep.
And then the jokers and the tarot cards basically give you ways to increase the amount of chips you earn and the multiplier that you get per card. So basically, it's all just about breaking poker, breaking the rules of poker. What Quang does here with when he goes into the needle, right, is he goes, I have DNA, so I'm gonna play this ace because which is with this hand, not the worst thing to do, right? We're on what ante are we on? I can't see because your fucking webcam's in the way.
We're on ante 7.
We're on ante 7. So I'm assuming, so you made a couple blunders here.
Yeah.
You're on the plasma deck. What does the plasma deck do? With the chips and the multiplier, it then finds the balance between them. What it literally balances them out. So if you've got like 250 chips and 5,000 multiplier, it'll find the balance between those two and make those both numbers. So let's just say the balance between that is 2,300. I'm just picking a number out of the air. It'll make 2,300 times 2,300. That'll probably be enough to win you the hand. The thing that Quang has done here is, I'm assuming, Quang, you've got some cards in your hand that are modified in some way. Maybe some malt, maybe some chips, maybe a steel card. Considering you've got 56 cards in your deck and you start with 52, but you decide to duplicate a blank ace with DNA on needle.
Yep.
Let's see what happens when you do that. You play an ace, you get a copy, you get 81 points out of 10,000, and you fucking die.
Ay.
I should note that out of the 56 cards in my deck, 20 of them are aces.
That's fair, but none of them are modified at all?
No, most of them are. But, you know, I was autopiloting. Because it was easy. Oh, sorry, I was on anti-4. I thought I was on anti-7. I did something similar. I did something similar later in the night.
Oh my god, bro! Read! Fucking read! Like, this is the other thing, right? Let's say you've got the boss ahead of time that is all heart cards to debuff. Don't then play the card that turns card into hearts, Quang. Your silence tells me you've done that before.
I'm just saying that sometimes we all need a little bit of game sense, bot. And
oh my fucking Jesus Christ, my brother! This is what, right? No matter. This is the lesson for this week, kids. Right? Normally, Juice and J-Dog can like take the rails. You know, take it all because it's Marvel Rivals. They know more about it than me. But Balatro is my game. Right? I'm currently like. Don't get me wrong. I haven't completed the game by any means. But I've surpassed where I am on mobile. I've unlocked all the decks. I've unlocked all the jokers. There's like one or two that I still haven't actually discovered yet, which isn't because they never show up. But I've unlocked all the vouchers. I just need to, and I'm working through the challenges, and I'm gonna start working on gold staking everything. No matter how fucking good you are at a video game, don't rush it because anyone can make mistakes. Don't rush it unless you're speed running it. And if you're speed running it, make sure you're ready. Quang, You're
I-
not ready.
I have. English is hard. That's the moral of this week's XP share.
Oh my God.
Uh,
I'm about to check your hours real quick to see how many hours you've got in the last row.
Next week, we have the multiverses tournament. And J Dog will be back. So any production mishaps that my computer seems to disagree with what
You
things
had
are labeled.
76 hours, and you made that kind of mistake. You faced the needle before, man.
Yeah, no, I know. Once again, the clip said that I thought I was on the big blind, which tells you how quickly I was just rushing through everything.
Oh my God. You literally clicked on the right hand side of the screen. What do you mean you thought you were in the big
I
blind?
appreciate everybody and
No mouse and
everyone. I hope you all have a good night.
You literally have to look at it to know what you're clicking.
I've been Justin Quang. See us next time, where J Dog will presumably not be mad about the wonderful MS Paint drawing I did of him.
Faker is a shit player.
Have a good night. Oh.